I hear it all the time. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. If I want to accomplish something, why wait until the new year? And that perspective totally makes sense, but I think that it's actually missing the point. The point of New Year's resolutions is not actually that you need to wait until January 1st. It is that it is an excuse for reflection. My name is Sean. I'm a mental health coach. I see 40 plus clients a week. I have a 98% satisfaction score from over 1,400 ratings, and I help clients get results like these. Since starting coaching, I have found a job I am much happier in, joined a band, started performing gigs. I'm going to be releasing an EP soon and feel less stressed overall. Today, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions and why they are actually more valuable than people think. So like I said, New Year's resolutions are an excuse for reflection. So many of us live our lives on autopilot. We go to work and we run the work script. We go home for the holidays and we run the holiday script. We hang out with friends and we run the friend script. And we don't take the time to pause and think. And with a lot of the clients that I work with, this is a huge source of suffering for them. That because they never take the time to pause and think about the actions that they are taking, the scripts that they are running, and just live life on autopilot, they perpetuate patterns that are no longer serving them. In fancy psychological talk, we would say that they have maladaptive coping mechanisms, right? They had coping mechanisms that helped them at one time, and now as they have grown and things have changed, now those coping mechanisms have become maladaptive. They are no longer serving them. And so that's the value of New Year's resolutions, is to take the time to stop and reflect and say, what is it that I'm doing with my life currently? What of those things are serving me? And what of those things are not? How do I want to shift and focus things differently? And in my experience, the more excuses that you can find to stop and reflect, the better off you'll be. So here we are in the new year, 2025, at the time of this recording. So let's take a minute to stop and reflect. So first, I'll just share my own goals that I'm working on in 2025. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about some of my own New Year's resolutions. And the reason that I'm doing this is not just to share it with you. I mean, if you're interested, thanks, that's awesome. But really the reason that I'm doing it is so that we can break down the New Year's resolutions into pieces. And these just sort of serve as examples. So the first one is that I want to figure out paid advertising. And the reason for this is because I find incredible fulfillment in my work, and the people that I work with see really, really amazing, life-changing results. And so what I want to do is I want to share that with more people, and paid advertising is one way to do that, one good way to do that. So if I can figure that out, I really feel like I can have more impact in my work, which is what I want to do. I want to help more people. The second thing is that I want to nurture my relationship. My relationship is one of the most important things in my life. I really feel sort of like grounded and supported in my relationship. And so I want to make sure to continue to nurture that through things like date nights and cuddles and things like that. And the last thing is finding community. For years, I have wanted to have some sort of community that I sort of feel at home in. And so I have a couple of communities that I have my eye on to sort of try out in the new year. So like I said, now we're going to take those and sort of break them down into their individual components that I believe helps New Year's resolutions to actually stick. Because that's what everyone says, right? Like there's no point in setting New Year's resolutions because no one ever actually follows through with them. So the first thing is that you'll notice that there are only three. There's only three for a whole year. And the reason for this is because as human beings, we don't like big drastic change all at once. We like little tiny incremental changes. And so there's even a bodily system that manages this sort of thing called homeostasis. So homeostasis is the thing that keeps us at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and does all sorts of other functions in our body too. So when we go outside and it's snowing like it is right now, we shiver, right? And that helps to warm us up back to 98.6. Or if we go outside and it's super sunny and hot in the summertime, then we sweat to help cool us back down. That is all a process of homeostasis. And so the same thing is true with our mind. So if we try to, set huge, crazy goals and we try to set 100 of them, what ends up happening is that the homeostasis of our mind reels us back and stops us from changing because it doesn't feel safe. and we don't want to do it. Our mind is trained to look for stability because historically that has been safer. So that's the first part about this, is make sure that when you're setting your goals that you choose just a few and make them, relatively bite-sized. You want them to be something that you feel like you can actually get a handle on and actually make progress in. The second is that all of these goals, you'll hear that there are practical elements to them. So for instance, with paid ads, I'm planning to run a paid advertising campaign this month. The second, with nurturing my relationships, I have actionable items that I am taking in order to nurture my relationship. My wife got me this really sweet gift that is a jar that is filled with hearts, and it has all sorts of different dates in it. And so each week we're going to pull out a different date. She did 100, which is crazy. We're going to pull out a heart and we're going to look at what date we're going to go on that week. And it's just a really sweet, nice thing, but it's something that we can take action on. And then finally, for finding community, I have actually gone through and looked at different communities and found a couple that I'm interested in actually joining, that I'm going to join probably sometime this month. Another important part about the practicality of your goals is paying attention to your own natural cycles and rhythms. So we all have different cycles and rhythms that we sort of function best in. And so paying attention to how you work best on a daily, weekly, monthly basis can really help you to align your goals with your own natural rhythms. One of the things that I do to help with this is that I actually keep a New Year's resolution document. So I have a document where all of this is written down, and then throughout the year, I will check back on it and just look at, what I wanted to do. I'll adjust things as needed if, priorities have changed or if I want to do something different. And I'll also sort of check things off that I accomplished throughout the year. And finally, maybe the most important thing to accomplishing your goals is knowing your why. So a lot of people, when they do things, they do it out of a sense of shame or should or obligation, but the goal isn't actually internally, intrinsically important to them. The goal is important to their parents or to society. So a really classic example of this is if you want to, get in shape for the new year. A lot of times the place that comes from is from a place of shame. It's like, I'm so ugly. I'm so, whatever the thoughts in your head are about how you feel about yourself. A lot of times that is what is driving it, and it ultimately doesn't actually help you to accomplish your goals. And so if you really take the time to figure out goals that are intrinsically motivated, goals that are really actually important to you rather than just a should, it helps you, it makes it far more likely that you will actually accomplish your goal. One of the things that I tell clients that I work with is I don't want to be like a fad diet where you lose all the weight, but then as soon as you come off of it, you immediately gain it all back. What I really aim for when I work with people is sustainable change. And ultimately, I would like that to be true in my content as well. And so instead of just watching this video and then moving on to the next one and doom scrolling on your phone, what I really want to encourage is for you to take some time to reflect. Take out a piece of paper or a document and write down what it is that you actually want to work on for the new year, and keep these 3 elements that I talked about in mind. If you want to do a quick check-in on your mental health, there's a free 2-minute quiz where you can just get some quick insights into areas that you might want to focus on. I'll leave a link down in the description so that you can take the quiz. And if, like a lot of people, for the new year, one of your goals is something about, getting in a better spot with your finances or building your business, this playlist that'll either pop up here or down in the description, depending on where you're watching this, goes into detail about how I help my clients do that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!